All right, traders, here's the deal. I found more setups. I'm going to prepare you to trade the best setups at the best prices. This is going to help you trade tremendously heading into the week. So do me a favor and smash that like button. I'm telling you, tomorrow should be a green day, guys. We got some great setups on my radar. I'm going to share them with you. My previous video goes over the stock market analysis, mainly on the SPY, if you want to check that out. Let's get into the stocks now because I found some more stock setups. So the first one is going to be NEO. I want to share with you this pattern that I'm looking at NEO. See how NEO is sitting at this price channel here. So this is a 5-day channel right here. NEO stock bottoms out in the 1930s and then it starts to rocket. Well, NEO ended up gapping up right here and there was a gap to fill at 2026. And as you can see on Friday, NEO stock gapped down towards that 5-day low, bottomed exactly at that 5-day low, started perking up. So here's the game plan for NEO. Right now, we're at the 5-day low of the price channel, and we got this gap to fill above. And as of now, it's bottomed out nicely at this key support level. So in order for NEO stock to shoot back up towards the high end of this 5-day channel and to fill this gap at 2198, what we're going to need to happen is two things. The first thing is right here, this key gap fill level at $20.26. That's going to be your key level. We need to break out past that and turn that into support. If NEO stock can do that, the next level it's going to go to is 2073, which is the make it or break it level. As you can see, that's strong support with big upside to fill the gap, right? Well, what happens if that reacts as strong resistance like it did? It goes back to the 5-day low instead of the 5-day high. So if NEO stock can break above 2072 and turn that into support, instead of going back to this 5-day low right here, it is going to be on track to shoot back up, have a gap breakout, and fill this gap that's waiting to fill above right here at $21.98, which would be the best micro put opportunity for NEO. The stock closed at $19.91. Heading into Monday, what is my game plan in terms of NEO stock this week? My current game plan for NEO stock is once it can react as a support level at $20, if we see $20 reacting as a strong support level, then I'm going to be interested in dip buying NEO stock, riding it back up to about $20.75. If it reacts as a resistance, I lock in the profits. If it breaks out and reacts as support, I'm going to look to take off about 50 to 70% of my profits and then try to let the rest ride to fill this gap above with a tight stop towards 2020 to protect the win. In terms of the NEO puts, I'm interested in buying puts towards 2198. Once we can shoot back up, fill the gap, we see it struggling, it's sitting at resistance, it's failing to break out, look to scalp some puts. So I just shared with you the in-depth trading plan in terms of how I'm planning to trade NEO both ways. We need to see a strong support, strong breakout above 20 for calls, and then we need to see a strong resistance, a strong breakdown at 2198 for the puts. And I explained to you the key make it or break it levels for NEO stock. This 2070 level, the middle of the channel is definitely going to be a key break it or make it channel. You know, in terms of buying the breakout on NEO, if you see this 2030 to 2070 react as strong supports breaking out, then you can look to buy the breakout as well. So that's the thoughts. That's the analysis on a NEO stock. Now, the same exact pattern is going to be on ROBLOX stock. You can see very similar situation. ROBLOX is towards the 5-day low. And as you can see, it bottomed out nicely at 45.51, shot back up into the 50s. ROBLOX had a gap down. There's now a gap to fill at 50.79. It is trying to bottom out towards this key support here at 46.20s. Your make it or break it level is going to be 45.50. That's the best level to dip by ROBLOX. Heading into Monday, if I can see this break out and hold this 47 level, I'll be interested in buying some call options to kind of ride this back up to fill the gap, take some profits along the way at like 48, 48.50, right around that zone, $49, key profit taking zones. And, you know, with that being said, in terms of the put options, in terms of shorting ROBLOX stock, once we can fill this gap right here towards the high end of the channel at 50.79, I'll be interested in playing this for puts, riding it back down to about 47.50. So that's the analysis on ROBLOX. Very similar setup to a NEO. Now, let's go into CLOV. So in terms of CLOV stock, We have a gap to fill right here at 361. If I see that 361 level react as a resistance level, I'm going to be interested in trading some put options on CLOV. One of the patterns that I'm seeing on CLOV is we can see a potential big red day coming up. Let me share with you this pattern that I'm seeing. See how CLOV stock rockets, then it forms this red trend reversal candlestick, the same candlestick forms, and then it sells off hard that third day and it even drops the 4-day. See how CLOV stock ramps up and then it forms that same trend reversal candlestick. Next day is a big sell-off. See how CLOV stock is starting to form these red candles, these trend reversal candles. Well, let me tell you something. 361 is make it or break it for CLOV. If it bounces to 361 and that reacts as a resistance, you're going to want to look to buy some puts as it's breaking down, as it's struggling to break out if that occurs. In terms of your key make it or break it level for CLOV, once we can crack 350, you're going to want to be in on some puts, as this can experience a very nice big red day coming up, to really start to come back down to reality, to start to fill this gap within a few days at $2.88, which would be one of the best price levels to do a micro dip buying call opportunity on CLOV. So what I'm thinking on this one is I'm looking for a red day short. If we can start to go red on the day, if we can see 361 that reacts as a resistance, if we can see 350 break down, I'm going to be looking to get some put options on CLOV. Another one I'm interested in shorting and buying put options on. And guys, when I trade options, it's typically in terms of my style. I get in, I get out fairly quickly. Look to make a quick 20, 40%. Some trades are different, but what I'm doing with the option chain is I'm typically staying at the money. So if CLOV stock is at $3.50, I'll go with the $3.50 strike. I trade options at the money. That's how I typically do it. And I usually go with the expiration that expires the quickest. It all depends on the trade situation. Sometimes I'll go with the second expiration. It all depends on the trade. There's different trade styles with options. But for the most part, I'm getting in, I'm getting out fairly quickly. Unless not like I'm swing trading, that's a different story. NVIDIA. NVIDIA is going to be the next one. This is due for some downside potential. And we got the first red day coming in. So in terms of the pattern that I'm looking at on NVIDIA stock, you can see right here, it has this very nice move up. It forms this red candle, same red candle here. And then what happens the next day? The next day it gaps down, goes back to the previous closing price, and it sells off and closes weak at the lows. So right here, this is going to be your key level for NVIDIA, where it closed at $276.92. If that reacts as a resistance level tomorrow, we see this go under 277. It's looking bearish. It's having a red day. You're going to want to look to buy some put options on NEO. It should be able to easily crack that 272 level. And once it cracks 272, your next overall support level is going to be right here towards 266.50. And then you have a gap to fill below at 256, which would be the best micro dip buying call opportunity on NEO stock. So if we can get a crash to about 256 this week, that's where I'm interested in dip buying the calls. If we can get a red day tomorrow, if this previous closing price where NVIDIA closed at on Friday, if that can react as a resistance level, I'm going to be very interested in playing put options. So basically, if this gaps down like it did right here, I'll look for it to shoot back up towards the previous closing price at 277. So if these stocks are gapping down tomorrow, like NVIDIA, like CLOV, best price to buy the puts, wait for them to shoot back up towards the previous closing price, and then plan for a gap close reversal. Once they react as a resistance, see how it closes the gap, then it starts to have a reversal, the PCP, previous closing price strategy, right? So that's what I'm looking to do with NVIDIA. I have a strong conviction that if NVIDIA is red, we're going to see a nice red day where it closes weak at the lows like it did right here. So that's what I'm looking at for on NVIDIA stock. TLT. TLT is getting very, very interesting. We're currently sitting towards the 52-week lows on TLT, and we just filled a gap. There's a gap to fill right here at 128.68. As you can see, it nearly closed at that gap fill level. If this stock is green, it starts to break above this key level right here, this 128.68 level. If it can start to break out above that, I'll look to scalp some calls. Would have stopped towards like at 128, a very tight stop. So I'm looking for a breakout above $128.68 For TLT, the target would be 129 to a 129.50. If this can break above 129.50, then it's going to shoot up to fill this gap at 130.47. So that's what I'm looking at on TLT. If we can get a green day, I'll be interested in buying some micro call options for this one, playing for, you know, a small part of that move, taking advantage of that gap fill momentum move. That's what I'm looking at on TLT. It seems like it's due for some sort of bounce. So yeah, that'd be the game plan on TLT stock. Now, let's go over our next play, MULN. MULN is finally having that hard sell-off. It has turned dark blue on the squeeze indicator. With this one, for those of you who are interested in buying, if we could see strong support come in right around here at 175 or right around here at 135, most likely 175, then it's going to be a great dip buying opportunity to really ride this back up to fill this gap at $3. $3 would be the best price for some micro puts if it reacts as resistance. So the setup right now for MULN would be a gap close reversal. If it closes the gap at 3, starts to react as a resistance, buy the put options. If it closes this gap at 175 or at 135 and it starts to look bullish, show signs of a bullish confirmation, a bullish trend reversal, then you're going to want to look to buy some call options to ride it back up to fill the gap. That'd be the game plan to trade MULN both ways. The stock has been doing a good job of recovering from these big downfalls that has. So we'll see how it reacts at 175. If it reacts bearish, then the next best level is 135 on MULN for those of you who are interested in buying that one. CVX. CVX has a gap to fill right here at 170.90. This had a massive move up as gas prices are rising. This is extremely overbought for the overall macro picture on this stock. Eventually, these gaps are going to fill from 144. So for this one, I'm looking to do a leap option where I go about 60 to 90 days and I stay at the money and I get some puts. Now, what I'm looking for is, and what I'm waiting for is, I'm waiting for some bearish confirmations at around $170.90. If we can get some bearish confirmations at 170.90, I'll be interested in getting some leap put options. So when I'm doing swing trades, when I'm doing leaps, I'm looking for bearish confirmations on the daily where the stock is just struggling. It's sitting towards this key gap fill level, this 170.90. It's forming bearish candlesticks. It's forming trend reversal candlesticks. When I start to see days of those confirmations triggering, I'm going to look to buy those leap put options. That's a passive income play that I'm patiently waiting for. We got to see bearish confirmations at 170.90. If so, I'll be very interested in riding that back to fill the gap below, looking into 60 to 90 day contracts. Another huge advantage to these contracts is the put options, the leap put options are extremely cheap for this stock. So just keep that in mind. I mean, just look at this. The 160 put options are only, the 165 are only $4. That's 33 days. But I'm going to be looking into 60 to 90 days for this one. It's due for a pullback. We're just waiting for confirmation. AMC, I'm really leaning towards the short bias side. But for this one, I don't want to do a day trade. I'm done with the whole trading AMC. I want to do like a midterm leap put option on this one. The confirmation is a little tricky. It's too soon. Just like with CVX, I think it's too soon. We need to wait till we get more bearish candlesticks. But overall, I think we're seeing something like this on AMC. See how it's just forming these wicks towards key resistance? It's just kind of sitting, having some small pops. It's forming these wicks towards resistance, just kind of sitting, forming these small pops, doing the same thing right around here. You see this pattern, you see what I'm saying, right? Just visually look at it. What tends to happen a couple weeks after? It sells off. It sells off. It sells off. So AMC, in my opinion, is lining up for a sell-off within a couple of weeks. We're towards this key channel right here. Your key support is at $20.80. The bulls have consistently failed now for 3 days to turn that into a support level. And you can see what happened right around here when that struggled to break out past that 2080 level. Look what happened. It started to break down. It took about 3 more days, but then it really started to sell off hard back into the 15s. So I'm leaning more towards the short bias side on AMC. I'm going to give it a couple of days. Once we can get some more bearish confirmations, I'm going to be looking to buy some midterm put options, give it about 30 to 60 days, and then ride this back down to about $16 a share. That's the game plan on AMC, waiting for more bearish confirmations. It's not quite time yet, but it is setting up for that midterm put in the money at the money opportunity. So that's my thoughts on that one. That's the chart pattern. I've explained that one. Dave is going to be the last stock that I'm really looking at. So the deal with this one is this is going to fill this gap at $4.36. It triggered dark blue on the squeeze, but there's also a gap to fill here. But overall, this stock is going to head back to $4.36. How long can it take? I would say 30 to 45 days. So the issue is it lacks the volume. So what I'm thinking is like a midterm put option on this one, and it lacks the volume. It could happen as soon as April 14th expiration, but I want to play it safe, and I want to go with this whole May 20th. So if I can get a good fill on a 7.5 put strike, these right here, the 7.5 put strike, if I can get a good fill where the spread isn't too wide, I'd be interested in doing a light position size for a May 20th. I'm very, very short biased on this stock. I think overall it's going to be heading back to fill that gap in the 440s. And say I lose on that trade, I get stopped out, then I'll just be waiting to buy puts with a heavier size towards 1050. But this stock is going to be a decent, passive leap put option to be holding. It's just the volume and the liquidity is very light. The spreads aren't the most thin. So you got to stay at the money, and you don't want to size in big. But those are the top ones. So in terms of leap put options, Dave, AMC, CVX. In terms of, some great call opportunities that I've explained to you how to play calls and puts on these stocks on MULN, TLT, CLOV, NVIDIA, NEO, and ROBLOX. Those are going to be the top stocks that I'm currently watching into this week. We're going to be trading these live at market open when the confirmations trigger, right? And if you want to receive that written version of the watch list, along with the live trading streams that we do every single day, where you get to watch us trade live at market open. You get to ask us questions live on the spot. You also get access to the chat room and the gap method trading system, the unique price action analysis trading strategies that we use to consistently profit within the market. This is all included within Trader Society. That's going to be the first link in the description below. As soon as you sign up, you get instant lifetime access. It's a one-time fee for a limited time only. And yeah, if you really do want to check out Trader Society, like I said, you get access to the chat room, to the real-time trade alerts, to the stock analysis, to the watch list, to the live trading streams that we do every single day at market open, where you get to watch us trade live and ask me questions live on the spot. Within the chat room, you can also send me a direct message privately. And you get access to the video lesson library, where you get to learn the gap trading system, the psychology to trading, the mindset to trading. There's so much more to it, the risk management, the position sizing. If you want to check it out, it's the first link down below in the description. For those of you within Trader Society, the written version of the watch list will be sent out before the market opens tomorrow. And we'll also be doing the live trading stream at market open, and frequently be active within the chat room. I will see you guys tomorrow live at market open. I'm telling you guys, tomorrow should be a green day. The green streak should continue. We got some great setups lined up, and I'm looking forward to trading with you guys. I will see you in the live stream tomorrow.